What's up, guys? This is the Living the Dream podcast. I'm Sam, and welcome back to another great episode where we dive into all things blue collar, whether that's climbing a ladder or crawling in a ditch. We cover everything. So how about you go over to the YouTubes? If you're already here watching this, you probably are. Give us a like and a subscribe. Drop us a comment. Follow us on Facebook. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So how about you guys just sit back, relax, crack you a cold one. We'll do the rest. Let's dive into it. Welcome back, guys. Look, I know, I'm sorry. I put out the little bonus video there on before Christmas, and then poof, I disappeared. I'm sorry. That's my bad. So that brings us back to the episode tonight. Okay, it's progress, and progress isn't linear. Okay, sometimes you go up, sometimes you fall back a little bit. Okay, you don't always go straight up to the top of the hill. Okay, I posted earlier today. Well, at least the day that I'm recording this, I posted on Facebook this last time about Marla, the little 8N back here. She's not been linear progress, not by any means. I've had some success. I've had some failure. I've tried things that it's failed, and it's been frustrating. It really has. And especially since I'm depending on it. But, you know, hey, that's what you get. You pick a 1947 tractor and expect it to just work flawlessly. It's not going to happen, okay? Just not. But still, that's paid for. So anything I put into it is, you know, all it is benefiting me. So I'm not mad about the progress, but it is one of those things that has taught me some patience. And it's also brought me to this episode today because it's made me think about the fact that progress is still progress even with setbacks. So you've got to look at that you can look at that in life, you can look at that in your career. So part of the reason why we didn't have a few episodes is because I didn't have power to my office. Because, let's see, I'm going to put my hand up here, and hopefully I can put a little picture on there to display the house fire light that I didn't know that we had, okay? So it'll be here on my hand. If there's a picture there, then I figured it out. If there's not a picture there, just imagine there being one there, or it'll be somewhere in this realm, whatever. But regardless, a setback, okay? So homeownership is great. Until you have problems that you have to resolve, and then it's on you. Now you can either, in the blue collar realm, I should hope that you have the talent and the skill set to be able to resolve the issue on your own, or somebody, a coworker or something like that. Maybe they do drywall or electrical or what have you on the side, and you can reach out to them. The blue collar community helps out one another. It's it's a trait of brotherhood. So progress is one of those things that everybody's like, I want to progress in my career, and then you're moving forward and you hit those points in your career to where you're like, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere, or you're struggling, or maybe you're running into a difficult part that you don't feel like you're really doing well at where you want to go. Say you're trying to move into leadership, and you run into those situations to where you don't feel like that you lead people very well, or there's a certain person that is just kicking your ass, and you don't seem like that you guys can mesh, and you're not leading them well. So, maybe you feel like that's a setback, and it's one of those deals to where you're like, well, maybe I'm not meant to be a leader. Maybe this is a sign. It's not necessarily a sign. That's just it's a little lull in your progressive. It's like I said, progress is not linear. Okay, I'm learning this. This is as I'm experiencing it, I'm sharing it. But this is one of those things that can apply to everything. It can apply to life. It can apply to your career. It can apply to raising your kids. All of it, you know, you have to keep in mind that just because you've had a setback doesn't mean that you're not progressing. Setbacks are just an area that, you know, maybe you got to study a little harder at to get past. You know, not every subject you excel at during school. Sometimes there's you know, English. Boo. Wait, do I have one of those? We can do this. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, there you go. English. Boo. But you know, you've still got to learn it. But it may take a little more effort for you to grasp it. Well, once you grasp it, then you know. So it's not setbacks aren't the end of progress. Setbacks are just a stepping stone in progress. So you've got to move forward. You've got to continue to press through all of those scenarios in order to continue your progress. And it's one of those things too that once you complete it, you're like, wow, I've actually accomplished this and it's turned out great. So on your journey for progress, and I'm recording this as much of a reminder for myself as I am for the audience, and to get us back on track for episodes here. We're gonna get right back into this, and we're gonna keep plugging forward. I'm hoping to have some collabs in March. I've got an episode that I did with another podcast I'm excited to share with you guys. You'll have to go see them. I need to get them on the podcast so that, you know, I can give them some of the harassment that they gave me. But I'm looking forward to that one. I'm hoping that'll bring some to us. And then, you know, this is a year that I'm really trying to push, and you know, I'm giving you an episode a lot sooner than I did last year. I don't have near as much going on right now as I did this time last year. We weren't trying to get a house established or anything like that, but this is progress moving forward. Okay, so, you know, we were doing really good for a while. We had a lot of episodes every week. We had an episode every week. We had Facebook interaction, posts on Facebook, so on and so forth, and I was trying really hard to keep that going. And then my house tried to catch on fire, but it didn't actually catch on fire, thank God, you know, knock on wood. But, you know, thanks to my wife, she saw the house fire light in the hallway and let me know. So at like 10 o'clock at night, I got up and had to determine where the power was coming from and put it out. Not put it out, but, you know, turn the power off and prevent it from continuing to escalate. When you see the picture, you know, if you saw the picture earlier, if you get to see the picture, then you'll understand. It could have been way worse, and I am incredibly grateful that God showed us favor and allowed my wife to see that before it turned into something far worse. So again, progress, you know, it put a hitch in the weekly uploads of the podcast. We got Marla. We put out 2 hay bales with her, and it's been fantastic. The first one was a little better. The second one, not terrible. I mean, we still did it. I have figured out the weights, you know, hang a little bit of weight off of the front of it, and it does just fine. Man, I am so incredibly grateful. I'm thankful for the skills that I have and being able to do what I can do with everything. You know, I'm blessed in that respect. And I hope that all of you out there that are watching this and listening to this, that you'll take that opportunity to, if there's something that maybe you don't understand how to do, or that you don't currently understand, that you'll take the time to understand it, and that you'll take a little time to try and learn it. Because you're never too young to learn something, or you're never too old to learn something. it's never, there's never a time. You can constantly learn, and it's a great thing. And I like to try and progress as much as I can in everything, in my skills, in life, in working with people. I'm trying. It's not people's not one of my things that I would say that I have excelled at. I have I struggle sometimes with, I don't want to say, I don't know that it's empathy. I would say it's probably more like sympathy, possibly. I'm not sure. I don't know. Somebody in the comments correct me here, but basically what it boils down to is I don't have a lot of tolerance for excuses. Everyone makes mistakes, and you've just got to plug on forward. And there's no sense in wallowing in it. Okay, I made a rather major mistake this last week, and I'm gonna have to pay the piper for it. But at the end of the day, own it. Okay, if you make a mistake, just freaking own it, man. The best thing you can do in a situation, if you make that mistake and you know you did it, there's no denying it, just own it. And if there's consequences for it and you get fired, so be it. Okay, that was a learning experience. That's also an unforgiving environment. And if they're not willing to allow you to make mistakes and let you move forward with, hey, I've learned from those mistakes. Now, granted, you make the same mistake multiple times, get your ass out of here. We can't help you. Okay, you're not trying. But if you make a mistake and you own it, and you learn from that mistake, and you do what you can to prevent it in the future, then hey, it's a learning experience. It's progress. So there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. Mistakes is probably my biggest educator in my life, because Lord knows I've made plenty of them, and it's helped me to get to where I am too. And it's also just knowing, the other thing is just knowing that you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and sometimes you've just got to reach out to other people. I also had a scenario this last week that I really didn't know what the heck I was doing, but it needed to be done. I reached out to the people that were smarter than me, and we did what we could to make it happen. We didn't do everything. We both made mistakes, but it was okay. We also learned going forward more about that scenario, and more about that equipment, and more about how to do things better in the future. So this last week has been incredibly trying for myself, for a lot of people on my team, and I feel like there's been a lot of growth occur in that week, and I hope that going forward it helps all of us. I know I've learned a lot this last week about certain things, and there's a lot of things that I can take away from it moving forward. So again, I circle back to progress. Okay, progress is not linear. It does not just go straight up. Okay, it's never going to be that way. So if you're in that situation and you're like I'm not continuing to go forward, I'm only just I'm flatlining. Okay, it's fine. Look at your progress, your end goal. Where do you want to be? What is holding you up right now? Okay, how can you get through there to where you can continue that upward travel for more progress? So just keep that in mind as you go through this week. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. I'm super excited to be back at this. I really feel like that we're going to have some great episodes coming up. And maybe it'll be some short episodes like this, and we're moving forward. Drop me a comment. If you make it here to the end, drop a comment down below. Tell me, what do you think about the new intro? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Just give me some insights. What do you have for some ideas as to future episodes? Send me an email. Drop me a message on Facebook. All of those things are all options. So I thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us through some of our inconsistencies. And we'll see y'all next week. If you're late, you're lost.